The word for you today, Tuesday, January the 9th. Turning two families into one. You know, keeping families together, unifying families or molding families together, it can be a tough thing to do. Genesis chapter 33, verse 5 says, Then Esau looked up and saw the women and children. Who are these with you? He asked. Jacob answered, They are the children God has graciously given your servant. Okay, what's going on here? Well, you remember the story of Esau and Jacob. They were twins. And Esau came out first. In the process, as they got older and they became young adults, Jacob stole his brother's blessing from his father. Esau threatened to kill Jacob. He said that once the father died, he was going to kill his brother. So their mother sent Jacob away and to protect him from his brother's intense hatred. Years later, many years later, Jacob is going back home. And as he's on the road with his wives, his children, his livestock, his servants, he's accumulated a lot of wealth during this time. He's heading back home, and he gets news that Esau is coming with, I think it's 400 soldiers with him. Oh my goodness. What is Jacob thinking? He's going to kill me now. So he comes up with this plan to divide the families up so at least some of them could escape. But when they got together, when they came, Esau embraced Jacob and wept and was so glad to see him. Well, how did that happen? There were some things that Jacob did. There were some things that Esau did, and to make two families come back to one. And let's take a look at this and see if there's things we need to do in our families to unite our families. Families are going to have issues, and if they're not settled, these issues can result in hard feelings and resentment. So let's see what Jacob and Esau did. First of all, Jacob, he didn't avoid him. He could have took his whole group and gone a different direction, but they couldn't have outrun them. But many times we avoid family members. We avoid people that we need to make things right with. He sent gifts ahead of his family. He sent some servants ahead with gifts for Esau. And then when he met Esau, he addressed him in a very respectful way. Esau, on his part, what did he do? Well, he did not avoid Jacob. He could have said, I'm not speaking to him. But he went, and they came and met face to face. Then he greeted him and hugged him. Jacob basically showed repentance. What I did was wrong. Esau, forgiveness. I forgive you. And then they were able to embrace. Now, Jacob still didn't fully trust Esau, but Esau didn't give him any reason not to. But the key thing is here, is we have difficulties or conflicts within our families. What are we to do? Well, first of all, don't avoid the family member you're at odds with. You may need to get away for a little while to calm down, but then come back and face to face deal with it. Pray as you do that and ask God to be involved in the restoration. Third, either forgive or ask for forgiveness, whichever is your part. Don't wait for the other person. You be the one to initiate the reconciliation. And then repentance. Show that the future is going to be different than the past. Families are going to be in conflict. We cannot live with one another without there being conflict. So conflict is not the issue. The issue is how are we going to deal with it? There was a lady named Elizabeth Barrett. She had a childhood accident and she was semi-invalid. As she grew older, she met a wonderful young man. They ended up getting married. Elizabeth's father had a very controlling way with her, and he was totally against this marriage. So they got married in secret, and then they moved to Italy. They moved far away. All during that time, Elizabeth wrote letters weekly, wrote letters to her parents, expressing her love for them, telling them how much she cared about them, how grateful she was for them, how much she loved them and missed them. 10 years later, she got this big box in the mail. In it were all the letters she had written, and not one of them had been opened. Think about what her parents had missed during that time. There could have been a reconciliation, a reuniting together. Those letters became some of the most beautiful and classical English literature. And her parents didn't open up a single one. Maybe there's somebody in your family that's trying to reach out for forgiveness, repentance, whatever it might be. Would you help them with that? Don't be like Elizabeth's family and keep things boxed up just to get rid of it and not respond to them. Don't let past problems keep you from a bright future together. Is there anybody in your family that you need to take the step and make things right with? Don't wait. Don't wait. Do it now. Have a nice day.